Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Make It Together, How to Make a Simple Dinner. Tonight I'm going to be making a pizza. I'm going to be using garbanzo bean flour to make the crust, and then we are also going to be doing some buffalo cauliflower and some vegetables and pepperoni on the pizza. So the first thing that I'm going to do is get started with the cauliflower. So I have some butter melting right now because I don't have a microwave, so I have to do it old style, and I got the bowl with the butter in it and the pan underneath with the water boiling. So I'm waiting on that. I have 2 tablespoons of butter going. So while I'm waiting on the butter to melt, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the cauliflower. Alright, so I have my cauliflower here. I went ahead and washed it. The next thing I'm going to do is kind of cut out this middle piece here. I went ahead and ripped off all the little leaves. So we're just going to do that. And I'm going to kind of cut them up into small pieces. But this recipe actually works good as well if you want to do like the whole cauliflower like this. You can do it like that as well. But I'm going to cut these up smaller just because they are going onto the pizza and I want it to be a little bit of smaller chunks. So I'm probably going to take this and then just maybe cut that into like fourths. Let's see how that turns out. Yeah, more like that. So I guess just kind of cut them up to whatever what size you guys would like. So it's going to be like little pieces like that, and then I'm going to just keep them on the cutting board, and once we get the butter melted, then we're going to go ahead and season them. So I'm just going to cut up the cauliflower. So I have the broccoli cut up and the butter is melted. So the next thing I'm going to do is make kind of a buffalo sauce. So this is 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I'm also going to add in a tablespoon of olive oil there. And then I'm also going to be adding in a little bit of salt. If you have salted butter, you can omit that. We buy unsalted butter, so that's why I have the salt in there. This is garlic powder. You can season it kind of however you want. This one's just kind of a basic one. Maybe onion powder in here, or some pepper, if you like it like super spicy. So the next thing I'm using is hot sauce. I like the Louisiana hot sauce, but there are so many different kinds, so you can use kind of, whatever you want. And so we're going to be putting in a 1/2 cup of this. So I have to grab the cup. All right, so I have my 1/2 cup, and I'm going to just get to shaking it in here. I wish there was an easier way to do that. Well, I guess I could pop that top off, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to shake it in. And so while I'm getting this in, the last time that I made cauliflower, buffalo cauliflower, I just put the cauliflower on the pan and then I poured the sauce over it. And I found that that is not a good way to do it because everything got stuck to the, everything got kind of stuck to the parchment paper on there. So this time I'm trying it, and I'm going to just put the cauliflower in a bowl, and then I'm going to be pouring this sauce over it. And that way we'll have coated cauliflower versus some cauliflower on a coated parchment paper pan. So I'm going to just stir this up, get a bigger bowl to put all the cauliflower in, and then we'll add this on top. Alright, so here's my bowl, and I'm going to just add in the cauliflower. There's nothing on the cauliflower, no olive oil or anything on there. This is just cut up. And I have the oven preheated to 425, where we are going to put these in once they're all coated. So we got that done. And since this pan the bowl was hot, because I used like a broiler system to melt it, I'm going to use a pot holder here. And we're just going to pour it over. And then, oh, it's not hot. I'm going to get all of it out with the spoon. And then we're going to just mix up the cauliflower in here, trying to get all the pieces nice and coated. And this is just the recipe for 1 head of cauliflower. It does look like there's going to be some at the bottom. So I'm just going to try to stir it all the way up. All right, so I have my pan here. The next thing I'm gonna do is just get the cauliflower out and lay it on there, trying to get out this excess sauce so that way it doesn't do what it did last time, which is why I'm not just pouring it on there, because last time all the flavor came off of the cauliflower. I'm still getting some chunks on there, but trying my best to get it all out. And so if you're cooking just regular buffalo cauliflower as a side or something, you would want to put it in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes on 425. But I'm going to be putting it on the pizza, and the pizza is going to be going in there for about another 10 minutes once I get all the veggies on there. So I'm just going to put these in for, I think I'm just going to do 15 minutes. So that way, at the end of it, that's 25 minutes. So that is what we're going to do with that. And while these are in there for 15 minutes, we're going to be going ahead and making the crust. So I'm going to just put these on here, try to spread them all out so that way they'll be individual pieces when we put them on the pizza and they won't like glue together. So, and I'm just going to toss away this extra sauce. So I'm just going to continue getting these out. All right, so this is what it looks like before it is going in the oven. All right, so for the crust, I have here 2 cups of garbanzo bean flour. I'm going to be adding 1 cup of water. I like to use filtered water, but whatever you got works. I'm going to kind of stir that up a little bit. We're not done adding ingredients just yet. Just wanted to kind of stir it up a little bit, get that mixed up. All right, so it's gonna be a dough, obviously. I'm hoping that it's not going to be too sticky because this is my first time ever using this recipe, so we'll see. All right, so I'm going to add in a little bit of salt, and then we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I guess I'm just going to guesstimate, so it's like 1, 2. And I'm just going to be using salt for this, but you can literally, like if you wanted to do like some garlic salt or something in here, that would be good with it too. So I'm going to get out a circular pan, put some parchment paper on here. It looks like this is going to be kind of a thicker dough and sticky. So yeah, definitely am going to want to use parchment paper. But this is it. It's just those few ingredients. So I'm going to go ahead and prepare the pan. All right, so I'm going to be using a spatula for this because I think it's going to help spread things out a little better. And I'm feeding 4 people, so I'm kind of debating while I'm doing this if I'm going to want to do 2 of these. I'm not entirely sure yet. So I'm going to just start out by putting the glob in the middle of the parchment paper, and then I'm going to try to spread it out evenly so it's evenly thickened in this circular pan. And I have 2, I think I still have 2 of these pans. So if not, I might just do like a rectangular one. All right, so I'm just going to spread this out like so. And if you wanted to do like individual pizzas, you could do that. Like if you wanted to do, I could really do like 4 different pizzas, but I'm gonna do just 1 large one. And the cauliflower still has 4 minutes, so I have 4 minutes to get this perfectly made. All right, so I did decide to make 2, and I have the oven now preheated to 375, and then we're going to put these in for 20 minutes. And while these are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the cheese and the vegetables that we're gonna have on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in the oven. And once again, don't forget, I changed the oven to 375. So I wanted to show you guys the toppings that we're gonna be putting on the pizzas. So we have the cauliflower that's already done. We have some bok choy here. I have tomatoes. I have onions that are already cut up. Yay! So that means I don't get to cry tonight. And then we're going to be putting 1 pepper. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I think I'm going to saute all of these items except for the tomatoes. I'm going to saute them in a pan just to get them kind of a little bit softer. And then, so the pizzas they have 17 minutes, so we got time to prep this stuff. All right, so we have the pizzas out of the oven. What I did is I turned the pizza over from the parchment paper and then just ripped it off the back. I'm assuming the recipe said to do that, so this side is a little less done, maybe. And as you can see, I am putting on mayo. So this is not regular like tomato sauce pizza. And I'm doing that just because I've been having some issues with my stomach, and the tomatoes, the nightshades, make my stomach a little worse. So I'm going to be using mayo. This is homemade mayo. This is like a garlicky kind of mayo, so it should go with it. And I've actually made like a mayo dipping sauce for the spicy cauliflower before, and it came out really good. So I think that this is going to work good for the pizza. So I'm going to start off just by adding this on there and just kind of spreading it around just like you would do regular tomato sauce. And so I finally have all the vegetables cut up, so once I get this on there, it's going to be ready to go. All right. And this actually was a little bit soupier than what you can put on your sandwich, the mayo. So I'm happy that I was able to find another use for it. I might have to make some potato salad this week for the rest of it. So I'm going to spread it around. The next thing I'm going to add on is some cheese. I just have some mozzarella cheese. You can use whatever kind you would like, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and add the cheese. Alright, so they're all cheese. The next thing I'm going to do is add on some of the vegetables. So I'm going to split the vegetables in half to make sure that we're going to have equal amounts per pizza. And I'm not going to do these different. I was thinking about doing like different ingredients on each pizza, but we're just going to keep it simple and do both of them the same. So this is the peppers, bok choy, and then the onion. So we're going to add a layer of that over the cheese. All right, we got that on, and the next thing we're going to add is some cauliflower over it. And I'm just not thinking about this. I should have gotten some feta cheese, but that's all right. This will still be good without feta. But if I make these next time, I will definitely add some feta cheese. So I'm just going to kind of pile this on, kind of try to spread them out as best as I can. All right, next we're going to add some ham cubes. So I decided to do ham cubes and pepperoni. And these are pre-cooked. So I am just going to spread those around. If you're cooking for your family, make sure your hands are clean. I'm just throwing that out there. Obviously, if I was cooking this for other people, I would be using gloves. All right, so I'm just going to spread that around, and then also adding the pepperonis. And I bought like really big pepperoni slices, and then I just cut them up into smaller pieces. So I didn't really want to add like that whole lot of pepperoni. So we're going to do that, top it with that, and I think I'm going to shred just a little bit more cheese to sprinkle on top. I don't have any more mozzarella, so I have Colby Jack though, so I might do that. Alright, so the pizzas are ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put them in 375 for about another 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to just grate some cheese, and I'm going to add the cheese, and I also have some some tomatoes, and I'm going to put those on there a little bit closer to being done. Alright, if you have watched this far into the video, I so appreciate your support. The pizza has about another 3 more minutes. So be sure to check out my Instagram. I'm going to post a picture of what it looked like with all the finishing touches, and also just an honest review of how the recipes went, how good the pizza was. And if you tried this recipe or have tried another pizza recipe that you really like, just let me know. I would be glad to try your recipes, and then also just get some feedback on these recipes as well. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, or even share. You can definitely share this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.